Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Loving God, we gather together today to remember First Deputy Commissioner William Feehan, Chief of Department Peter Ganci, and Assistant Chiefs Gerard Barbara and Donald Burns, members of our FDNY family who gave their lives 21 years ago on 9/11. They made the ultimate sacrifice, giving their lives in order to save others. They ran to danger as others ran away. We believe in faith that they continue to live on in your eternal kingdom, where you reward their bravery, sacrifice, and commitment. Help us to honor their memory by imitating their courage and bravery. Help us to carry them with us always as we strive to serve the people of this city. Build within us the spirit of courage, commitment, and service so that our lives will honor them by our example. Lord, bless and reward their goodness, bring hope and comfort to their families. Help us never to forget them and to preserve their memory always. May God bless their families, our department family, and our city today and forever. Amen.
I know you've all heard this before, but I think Father Judge said it best, right? There are good days and bad days, but no boring days in the fire department. So I'm glad you're okay, Father. Thank you for your prayers. So speaking of Michael Judge, I was at the walk last weekend, and I was joined some of the widows of the 343 afterwards, and they were describing their husbands and telling stories as we do, laughing. And at the end, one of them said, in summary, he was just so alive. That's the best way I could describe him. He was so alive all the time. And I've, thought a lot about how to describe the fire department to outsiders, and I have to say she said it best. I can think of no better way than to describe the men and women I've met here as they just live life to the fullest, truly. And it's really something special, but I think I've also come to understand in all the mourning that we do that it's not a coincidence, that they really realize how short life is, and so they enjoy every moment of it because they can, because they have to. I've also learned as commissioner that I can give you a few headaches sometimes representing people who live life to the fullest. But I wouldn't want it any other way. I think it's such a special place, and I think, such a testament to the 343 and to the men that we are here to remember today that, I never met any of them, but to me, each one of them is alive. Commissioner Feehan, Chief Ganci, Chief Barbara, and Chief Burns, to me, are real, full people because of the stories that you've told, because of the lives you've lived in their honor, because so many, people have chosen to, despite, everything that we've gone through, chosen to show up and keep doing this job. And so, it's the best testament of all to all of our loss and all of our grief, to really live our lives in their honor, and a testament to all of you that you've kept them so alive all these years and shared them with the rest of us, even in the midst of your grieving. So I will close with Father Judge as well, since he is such an inspiration. I know, we have all heard the homily he did on September 10th, but there's actually a way he ended it that I haven't heard very often, and I thought it was so apt because he's talking about faith, which is so important at this department, but I also think he could be talking about the department at the same time, and it is this: turn to him each day, put your faith and your trust and your hope and your life in his hands, and he will take care of you, and you will have a good life. And I think that's true of God, and I think it is true of the FDNY. And so I know we are here to pledge to never forget, but I also know that we never will, because the people we are here to talk about have lived such wonderful lives. It is simply impossible to forget them. So thank you for being here.
Welcome to all, and thank you all for being here today. We just marked the 21st anniversary of our darkest day, and we are gathered here to remember the 4 members who responded to the World Trade Center site right here from headquarters. Chief of Department Peter Ganci, First Deputy Commissioner William Feehan, Assistant Chief Donald Burns, and Assistant Chief Gerard Barbara. These men were leaders, the kind of leaders who defined what strong leadership looks like and who we aspire to be like every day when we show up for work. On a personal note, the loss of these members had a deep impact on me and my family. My father, Assistant Chief John Hodgins Sr., who retired in 1997, worked closely and spoke very highly of all of these men. When he retired, he was also a citywide tour commander. And I always thought, had he still been working, there was a chance that he may have responded on that day as well. So that's why I just reflect upon this in a very special way. But we all also remember all of the other 343 who bravely responded and who heroically died while helping to save others that day. Time continues to pass, and while life does move on, we know that we will never forget the bravery and heroism of those who responded that day. For some, 9/11 is a distant memory, but for our department, there are daily reminders of those we have lost, and all we have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice since. The sad reality is that we are continuing to lose members who responded that day and then worked on the pile and rescue recovery effort for months to come. Their selflessness led to 9/11 related illnesses that have claimed 299 of our members since then. And that too reminds us of the dedication and service of our members in times of peril and need. And so, as the tradition in our department, we gather to remember and to hear stories of those who came before us. We learn about who they were, and we learn from their legacies. We are stronger, safer, and more resilient now than ever before. We know that we can handle any challenges that come our way, and that we will always rise to the occasion, as our members did on 9/11. The fire department has the best members in the world, and they always show up for our city and for each other. We know that tradition will never stop, and we also know that our vow to never forget our fallen members is one that will endure. Today, as always, we renew our pledge to continue showing up and to continue remembering. God bless the FDNY. Thank you.
I'll stand here. I see a number of people standing in the back. We have a statement in synagogues and churches, come early and get a seat in the back. So, come early next time. When I was a camper, I remember I would send home weekly those postcards, as many of you did. And I would write the traditional greetings, talk about how the food was lousy, went swimming, and at the end, I would say, miss you, love you. At the end of the summer, my mother came over to me, and she said, Joe, I just want to ask you something. Why did you have to wait till the end of the card to say, miss you, love you? Why couldn't you have said it at the beginning? So let me just say to all of you, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking this only child and adopting him as a member of your family. And we, the chaplains, are most privileged to have Monsignor John DeLundick as the senior chaplain, as our mentor. And what a blessing that has been, John, all of these years. Thank you very much. It is said that when we arrive in the next world, we're going to be asked this first question. What did you do after we left you? And hopefully we'll be able to say, we never forgot you. That, to me, is why we are here today. I asked my father many years ago, when he had survived that horrific Holocaust, how did you survive? How did you make it? He said, Joe, we had a saying in the camps. You can go 3 days without food. You can go 3 days without water, but you can't go 3 days without hope. The people we remember never lost hope. Never lost hope of finding strangers, of finding colleagues. I met a woman years ago who was rescued in one of the towers. She said when she saw a member of FDNY there, her first words to him were, I knew you would come. That is what defines this department. Never giving up hope, people knowing you're going to be there. There was a ruler in the world years ago named Alexander the Great, who commissioned an artist to paint a portrait with him with two stipulations. One, the portrait make him look handsome. Two, the portrait be authentic. The problem was Alexander had a tremendous scar above his right eye. So the artist thought to himself, if I paint him with the scar, he won't be handsome. If I paint him without the scar, it won't be authentic. So what did he do? He painted a portrait of Alexander leaning on his right hand with a finger, covering the scar. We do the same as well. The scars don't go away, but we cover them as we begin again. There's a phrase people sometimes use at a funeral that I've never liked. They say, this person passed away. But I think to myself, that's not what you should be saying. Better to say, thank God this person passed our way. We come here today, we remember them. Thank God they passed our way. Amen.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and waiting are silenced until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. Raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
We will now commence with the ceremony in the lobby. I ask that everyone please remain seated while the ceremonial officers transition to the next portion of the ceremony.
We begin our ceremony here in the lobby of the headquarters of the York City Fire Department by first placing the wreaths in front of our ordinary memorial wall that has been filling up for a long time. And so the wreaths will be placed by Acting Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh and by our Chief of Department, William Hodges. If they will please place those wreaths. The second wreath will be placed in honor of those who have died after 9/11 from the results of the World Trade Center from toxins and have died from cancer and other diseases. A wreath will now be placed by members of the family of William Feehan in front of the plaque of Bill Feehan. A wreath will now be placed by members of the family of Peter J. Ganci, Jr. Our next wreath we place by Paul Barber, the son of Jerry Barber, and place it in front of the plaque of Chief Gerard Barbara. The final wreath will be placed in front of the plaque of Chief Donald J. Burns by those who knew Chief Burns, who were here present with us. It's always important for the New York City Fire Department to remember those who have died and gone before us, especially those who have died in the line of duty. We always said that each person who dies deserves the respect, deserves the honor that they have earned by raising their right hand. And this was something that Bill Feehan had said more than once. They become heroes not by doing heroic things. They became heroes on the day they raised their right hand and swore an oath to become members of the New York City Fire Department. And that was the act of heroism that they all fulfilled and all of them went through. So we come here today to remember those who were members of this firehouse, the members of 9 Metrotech. This was their firehouse, the place where they responded from, and the place where they ultimately lost their lives. Those who were the leaders of this department, those who brought this department to where it is, and those who gave the tools to us to move this department on further than where it is now. So we remember them and honor them and thank their families for the gift that they've given to us of their husbands, of their fathers. And we thank those who are their friends who are with us today. I'm going to ask Rabbi Potasnik to join me in the, I'm sorry, we have a...
Detail, uncover.
Is there a floor first? No. Okay. I'm first, okay.
Yevarecha Haranoi v'yishmerecha.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Yo'ernoi ponav elecha v'chuneka.
May he let his face shine upon you and show you his mercy.
Yisrael ponav elecha v'yosem lecha shalom.
May he turn his countenance toward you and give you his peace. May he give you his peace forever and ever. Amen.
Detail, recover.
Tampa's going to play and Andrew's going to conclude. So after the song, you're just going to conclude.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Acting Fire Commissioner, Chief of the Department, and the entire FDNY, we would like to thank you for attending today's very special dedication ceremony. This concludes the ceremony. We will never forget.